10 Stoic habits to increase resilience and wisdom every morning. Morning, for many people, is simply the moment the sun rises, the body moves, and work begins. But for a Stoic, morning is a spiritual rebirth, a cleansing of the mind from the dust of yesterday, a fresh chance to start again with clarity, wisdom, and renewed inner strength. There are mornings when you open your eyes and your heart feels heavy as stone. Nothing bad has happened, and yet something deep inside feels drained, worn down, as if you're walking through a storm even though the sky outside is perfectly clear. The world demands strength from you, but the real battle isn't out there. The hardest battlefield is always within your own mind. Stoicism never promises to remove hardship from your life. Stoicism teaches you how to stand firm in the middle of it. And these 10 morning habits, when practiced daily, can completely transform the way you think, live, and face challenges. 1. Calmness is invisible strength. How many times have you lost your temper because of a late message, an irritated glance, or a careless comment? And then 30 seconds later, regret whispered, "If only I had stayed calm." We live in an age overloaded with stimulation, buzzing phones, urgent emails, bad news flooding your mind, misunderstandings, and people projecting their moods onto you. Most people mistake calmness for weakness, but the Stoics knew the truth. Calmness is not silence in the face of injustice. It's refusing to let the world drag you down to its level. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor betrayed by his own commanders, did not erupt in rage. He observed, reflected, and acted with reason, not because he lacked emotion, but because he understood a fundamental truth. Anger blinds, calmness illuminates. Seneca, too, when ordered by Nero to take his own life, did not panic or curse fate. He comforted his wife, wrote a final message to his students, and accepted death with serenity, as if it were simply another day of practicing the philosophy he lived by. Calmness is not coldness. Calmness is freedom. Freedom from being controlled by other people's emotions. Freedom from impulsive reactions. Freedom to choose the best response instead of the first response. Morning exercise. Instead of grabbing your phone, sit for 1 quiet minute. Say to yourself, anything can happen today, but my reaction is mine to choose. Calmness is the foundation of an unshakable day. Build it every morning, and you become not just stronger, you become immovable. 2. Persevere through failure. Strength in a way 99% cannot achieve. No one is exempt from failure. You've given your best, and everything still collapsed. You've poured your heart into a dream only to watch it shatter before your eyes. The pain is real, but what destroys us isn't the failure. It's the moment we begin doubting ourselves. Stoics look at failure the way a blacksmith looks at fire. Fire doesn't destroy steel, it forges it. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show who we truly are." Failure doesn't ask, "Did it hurt?" It asks, "Will you rise again?" Angela Duckworth's famous research on grit revealed a profound truth. Perseverance matters more than IQ, talent, or luck. Those who succeed aren't the most gifted. They're the ones who refuse to quit. Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Morning practice, 3 minutes. Ask yourself, what is my goal? What mistakes am I willing to make on the path toward it? This is a deeply Stoic question. It teaches you that mistakes are not enemies. They're stepping stones. You may fall 7 times, but if you rise the 8th, you have already won. Not because you didn't fall, but because you refused to let the fall define you. 3. Live humbly. The power of those who don't need to be loud. The ego whispers, I must be right. I must be better. I must be recognized. The louder the ego, the weaker the person becomes. Because one small criticism can break them. One person's success can keep them awake at night. Stoics choose another path. They act instead of boast. They listen instead of compete. They live rightly instead of trying to prove anything. Epictetus reminded us, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. When you are truly grounded, you don't need labels. You don't need to declare, I live with principles. People will see it. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is knowing your strengths and weaknesses without shame or arrogance. Morning shifts. Listen instead of interrupting. Do a good deed without waiting for thank you. Smile at others' success. Say, I was wrong, without defensiveness. The humble are not weak. They are untouchable, because no one can injure the ego they put down long ago. 4. Gratitude, the source of inner joy. The Stoics practiced an ancient exercise, premeditatio malorum, imagining losing everything you have. Not to cause fear, but to awaken clarity. Your job could disappear. Your loved ones could leave. Your health could change at any moment. This practice doesn't make you negative, it makes you awake. When you understand impermanence, you stop taking small blessings for granted. A peaceful breakfast, a loving message, a painless breath, a warm hug. John Wooden, the legendary UCLA coach, wrote love letters to his deceased wife every month for years, placing them on her pillow. He didn't write to cling. He wrote to remember that love is precious, never guaranteed. Morning exercise. Write down 3 things you have today that you know you could lose someday. Gratitude doesn't make you soft. It makes you fully alive. 5. Master your emotions. Do not let them steer your life. There are days when one glance wounds your confidence. One rejection makes you question your worth. One fear stops you even when opportunity stands right in front of you. Emotions, when unmisunderstood, become invisible chains. Stoics don't deny emotions. They simply refuse to let emotions drive the ship. Emotions are signals, not truth, not identity. You can feel fear and still move. You can feel sadness and still do what's right. You can feel tired but still preserve your dignity. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He refused to let hatred rule his mind. He chose forgiveness over anger, and in doing so, he gained not only physical freedom but inner freedom. Morning exercise. Write, what am I feeling today? Then ask, is this feeling a fact or just a passing wave? When you can observe your emotions without being carried away by them, you become the author of your life. 6. Learn to respond, not react. A careless comment, a cold message, or a simple mistake can ruin your entire day, if you let it. Epictetus said, no one can harm you unless you allow them to. An insult is just noise. You are the one who turns it into a wound. Failure is just information. You are the one who turns it into self-doubt. Stoics don't run from emotion. They pause, they observe, and they choose a response rooted in clarity, not instinct. Morning reflection. If today brings mistakes, misunderstandings, or rejection, how will I respond while still preserving my dignity? Responding is action of wisdom. Reacting is action of pain.
Extended section for Habit 10. Stay strong and steady. Strength is not the absence of being shaken. Strength is the ability to stand tall again every time life knocks you down. Most people see stability as a destination, but the Stoics see it as an inner journey, one that never ends. No one wakes up suddenly grounded and unbreakable. Steadiness is a habit, a quiet, unseen discipline practiced daily in moments no one else notices. When you want to quit but take one more step. When you want to explode but choose silence. When you're terrified but still move forward. When you're hurting but refuse to retaliate. When you're exhausted but still choose kindness. This is the strength of a person who lives by principles. 1. Steadiness is not inborn, it is forged through adversity. A tall, mighty tree does not grow in soft soil. It grows where the winds are strongest and the ground is harsh. Humans are no different. Stoics understand that every hardship is a weightlifting session for the spirit. Without challenge, we weaken. Those who wish for a life without suffering are the ones who collapse the quickest when suffering arrives. Those who want a path without obstacles will be drowned by the very first wave. The Stoic does not wish for an easier road. He wishes for stronger legs. 2. It's not suffering that exhausts you, it's resisting it. Marcus Aurelius once said a sentence that, if understood, can rewrite your life. The obstacle is the way. We don't grow weary because of failure. We grow weary because we refuse to accept that failure is part of life. We don't hurt because of loss. We hurt because we deny that loss is natural. When you stop resisting, you begin to see. In unemployment lies the lesson of changing direction. In heartbreak lies the lesson of self-worth. In betrayal lies the lesson of choosing wisely. In illness lies the lesson of understanding the body. Life is never trying to destroy you. Life is trying to teach you to become the strongest version of yourself. 3. True steadiness is acting even when belief has faded. People often imagine resilient individuals as endlessly optimistic, endlessly confident, but that is an illusion. In reality, the strongest people often continue even when they have no clear hope left. Like a warrior walking onto the battlefield despite fear. Like a mother caring for her child despite heartbreak. Like a worker rising each morning despite fading faith. The Stoics believed courage is not the absence of fear, but acting rightly despite it. Strength is not found in the emotions you feel, but in the choices you make when those emotions collapse. 4. Morning steadiness is your silent daily oath to life. Tell yourself every morning, I will not react impulsively. I will not let fear shape my decisions. I will not let anyone steal my inner peace. I will choose action, even small action. I will be the strongest version of myself today. Each day you keep that promise, you grow stronger, sharper, more at peace. And one day you'll look back and realize You are no longer the fragile person who trembled before storms. You have become the storm itself, powerful, vast, and impossible to break.